Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're going through a sudden career transition right now, let's just be honest, losing a job is incredibly stressful. The absolute last thing you need is to be drowning in a sea of confusing government paperwork. So take a deep breath. Today, I'm going to give you a complete, empowering, and super easy to follow guide to navigating the South Dakota reemployment assistance process exactly the right way. I completely empathize with the reality of unemployment. I mean, your mind is probably racing with a million questions about your finances, your future, the whole shebang. But let me reassure you right now. While job loss is undoubtedly hard, filing for your benefits online doesn't have to be this anxiety-inducing experience. We're going to demystify this entire system together so you can take back control. So here is our roadmap for today. We're looking at 1. Eligibility and preparation. 2. Step-by-step online filing. 3. Navigating application questions. 4. What to expect after filing. 5. Managing your weekly benefits. And 6. Resources and important disclaimers. Let's kick things off with Section 1, Eligibility and Preparation. Okay, first things first. To qualify for benefits in South Dakota, you've got to have lost your job through no fault of your own. Basically, that means you were laid off, not fired for misconduct, or, just up and quit without good cause. You also need to have worked in the state within the past 12 to 18 months, earned minimum wages during what they call a base period, and, crucially, and this is a big one, you must remain able, available, and actively looking for work. Now, preparation is absolutely key here. Please do yourself a favor and gather these documents before you even start clicking around online. You're going to need your social security number and a highly detailed 18-month work history. And by detailed, I mean exact dates of employment, your pay rates, and the specific reasons for your job separation for every single employer you had in that time frame. Oh, and if you were in the military, grab your DD-214. Federal employees, you'll need your SF-8 or SF-50 forms. Having all this sitting right on your desk beforehand makes the digital filing process infinitely smoother. Moving right along to Section 2, Step-by-Step Online Filing. To get the ball rolling, you'll head over to the Department of Labor and Regulation website. Just look for the Login/Register using MySD button. Setting up this profile, that is the mandatory first step before you can even touch the actual application. Creating your MySD account is actually pretty straightforward, but there are a few strict rules you've got to follow. First off, you must use an unshared email address. So no, you cannot share an email with a spouse who also has an account. Second, the system is going to send a verification code from do-not-reply@state.sd.us, and you literally have exactly 20 minutes to enter it before it expires. Next up, you'll create a strong password between 8 and 64 characters, and finally, you'll verify your phone number via a quick text message or a phone call. Here, you'll encounter the secure MySD sign-in and sign-up gateway. Once you've created your credentials in this portal, you're going to use them to link to the RA benefits portal, which is where you will actually file your claim. Now, South Dakota uses a secure system called MySD Verified to prevent fraud. You'll just select the online verification method, which sends a handy link or a QR code straight to your smartphone. From there, you'll take a photo of your physical ID, make sure it's laying completely flat on a surface, and then you'll snap a quick selfie for biometric validation. But hey, here's an important nuance. If you don't happen to have a state ID or driver's license, you can just select no on the application. Don't worry, it won't put an automatic hold on your claim. The state is just going to verify your identity through alternative administrative channels instead. Let's transition to Section 3, Navigating Application Questions. When it comes to the application, honesty isn't just the best policy, it is quite literally the law. The right way to file is to report all of your job separations, whether you quit or were discharged, with total transparency. A really common and honestly dangerous mistake is hiding a job refusal, failing to report that you may be skipped an interview, or not disclosing severance or PTO pay. The state does audit these claims, and failing to report work refusals or earnings can actually be considered fraud, which could cost you your benefits and cause a whole lot of unnecessary headaches. It's also super important to manage your expectations when it comes to the payouts. In South Dakota, the weekly benefit ranges from $28 up to a maximum of $575. Remember, reemployment assistance is really just a partial wage replacement designed to help you get by. It's definitely not intended to be a full salary substitute. All right, Section 4, what to expect after filing. So, what happens after you hit submit?
Well, here is the timeline you should expect. Your claim officially becomes effective on the Sunday of the week you filed. Then, your very first eligible calendar week is what they call the non-paid waiting week. Just like it sounds, you won't get money for this first week, but you still absolutely must file a claim for it. Finally, within 21 days, you're going to receive a monetary determination letter in the mail. That letter outlines your potential benefit amounts and lets you know if any further investigation is needed.
Up next, Section 5, Managing Your Weekly Benefits. Listen, you can't just sit back and relax once you're approved. You have to actively request payment online or by phone every single week. Because the reporting week runs Sunday through Saturday, you're always filing for the prior week once it's completely over. And remember what I just said a second ago? You must request payment even during that initial unpaid waiting week so you actually get credit for it. Also, if you happen to pick up any part-time work, you've got to report all your hours and gross earnings in the week you worked them, even if you haven't actually seen that paycheck yet. Next up is the work search requirement. You are required to make at least 2 distinct employer contacts each and every week. You'll want to keep a highly detailed record of your applications, who you talked to, the business names, phone numbers, the dates, all of it. You need to be completely prepared to produce these work search records because the state of South Dakota regularly audits claims. If you can't prove you've been actively looking for work, you could lose your benefits for sure. Another crucial step involves the state workforce database. If you live in South Dakota, great. You are automatically registered with the SDWorks database when you file your claim. However, if you're an out-of-state resident filing a claim against South Dakota wages, pay close attention to this. You have exactly 14 calendar days from the date you file to register with your local state workforce agency and provide proof. If you miss that ticking 14-day window, you risk losing your benefits entirely. And finally, Section 6, Resources and Important Disclaimers. Keep these contacts incredibly handy. You're going to file your claims at raclaims.sd.gov. For any questions at all about your claim status, call customer service. To file your weekly claims by phone, use the call center number. And hey, if you ever get locked out of your MySD account, it happens to the best of us, just call tech support directly. And of course, a quick disclaimer. While we've designed this explainer to be as comprehensive and helpful as possible, unemployment laws and website interfaces can and do update over time. You must always verify details with official South Dakota government sources and consult legal experts or state representatives for specific guidance related to your unique situation. Well, we have covered a whole lot of ground today, right? From mastering the MySD portal all the way to maintaining those weekly work search logs, you now have the exact roadmap you need to secure the safety net you have rightfully earned. But here's the real question I want to leave you with. Now that you're getting some financial breathing room, what is your next big career move going to be? How are you going to use this transitional time to level up? Thanks so much for watching this explainer, and we will see you next time.